Alright, today is the day. We are going to start the Classic Sims series with NASCAR Racing 1999 edition Craftsman Truck Series Championship. So let's get right into it here. We'll create a new season, Craftsman Truck Series. This is going to be an extreme season, I guess you could call it, because we're doing 100% race length, 39 opponents, 97% opponent strength, realistic driving mode, trucks. We'll do a pace lap. We'll have yellow flags enabled. No player breakdowns. Don't want to randomize thing too much. We'll have a damage activated to realistic. Um, Everything else will be the same. So this will be the format for our series. We'll go ahead and start. Again, this will be long races, very long races. 167 laps for this first race. We'll go ahead and just dive right into it. I don't need any practice. I did some practice prior to um, the video starting here, so we'll just dive right into qualifying. We'll do some quick qualifying, and then we'll start with our qualifying run here. So let's dive into it and see what happens. So I'm really excited to kick this off here. Really long race, so um, not too concerned about where we qualify as I hit the outside wall there. We only get one lap here, so um, something we need to keep in mind. Only one lap to qualify. But yeah, Miami here. Fairly flat track, just a standard oval, but still a ton of fun here.
Get ready. Here comes the time lap.
Not too worried about my tires for this qualifying run. We'll just try and go as fast as we can. Oh, drove in way too deep. That's not good. Need to pay attention here. Try my best throughout the race to just hug this inside line. That seems to be the fastest for me. That's gonna end qualifying. We did not do too good. Gonna be right in the middle. Maybe towards the back a little bit more, but kind of the middle here. 21st of 38. Not the best, not the worst. Don't need a warm up. Let's dive right into the race here and get this thing kicked off. So, yeah. I had this sim way back in the day. Actually, had it when it first came out, and I did a lot with the cars, but not a lot with the trucks. But you'll see some of the trucks here have hundreds for their numbers, and they're not the normal numbers. Like the number would be, for example, 114. There were some licensing issues with this game. I think this was when video games first started becoming really popular. So getting cars and tracks licensed was a lot more difficult back in the day. So yeah, some of the manufacturers didn't get licensed. I'm gonna hold off a little bit here off the start, just so some of the cars do check up, or can check up off the start, so
Clear.
I'd rather be conservative here and not crash if they do check up,
You've got a car up high.
like right here.
Still there. Still there.
Really long race, so I'm not going to be overly aggressive.
Still there. Still there.
But yeah, some tracks also probably didn't get licensed because Daytona isn't round 1 here, but that is fine. We have 26 races in this series, I believe. Yeah, 100% race length is what we're going to shoot for. So, race 1 here, I'm shooting for a top 10 finish. I would like to get top 5 overall in points for the actual series.
Still there.
I think that's pretty realistic.
Still there.
For this first pit cycle, we'll kind of hang back and then wait for things to string out. After we pit for the first time, then my plan is to get more aggressive. We'll pit probably around lap 60, 65. And for the car here, we got the rev gauge
Car high.
right in the middle. That's probably what you can see best, but off to, oh, okay, get a little tight here, so get a car on our inside. Dang,
Stay up high.
not paying
Stay low.
attention.
Car low. Clear.
But off to the far left, I was going to say, is our fuel gauge. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. We'll have a red light start blinking at us when we really need to focus on pitting. Inside here, make a pass.
Car high. Clear.
I'm gonna try my best to race the AI. Oh,
Car high.
whoa, that's a spin.
Clear.
Well, car spun out in front of me, but as I was saying, I'm gonna try my best to race the AI with respect here. So, not gonna be super aggressive with them. Gonna respect their line choices and just do my best not to dive bomb anybody or take anyone out. And we do have cautions enabled, but as you can see, the car spun out. There was no caution, so with this game, it is pretty hesitant. Just the caution flags and everything. Multiple cars need to crash, and a few cars need to actually be stopped and piled up in order for a caution to actually be thrown. So if one car crashes, then the caution flag will not be thrown, unless they just sit in the middle of the track for a long time. But yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a mostly green flag race. Things are starting to get a little strung out now. Really trying to hug the inside line. Going a little too deep there. get on the inside of the 44. It's a cool paint scheme. Back in the 90s, late 90s here, there was some awesome paint schemes.
Still there.
The trucks,
Still there.
Grand National Series, and the Cup. So my plan is to race the Truck Series, then do the Grand National Series, which is the equivalent of the Xfinity Series today. There's 30 races in that one, and then there's also 30 races in the Cup Series. Different tracks, some similar tracks, but also different tracks for each series. The Truck Series has a few more short tracks, which I'm really looking forward to. My favorite track in this game is Nashville Speedway, the short track. I made a video on that one earlier already, but that one is very fun. So looking forward to that track. Also, the series championship is Las Vegas for this, so that will be a fun one also. That race is always interesting, even it being just a cookie cutter mile and a half.
You got a car up high.
Get a big run here,
Stay low.
make one pass, get pinched down on the inside. The AI is pretty good at knowing
Still there.
to back off, so, or not back off, but get out of your way when you're making a pass. But there are times when they can pinch down, and they can be brick walls sometimes also, where if you hit them then you just spin out and they don't spin out. Big run on the 50, but he's going to take the inside line away from us. That's Greg Biffle.
Clear.
Long race, so not getting too impatient here. A lot can happen. Oh, I drove in way too deep there. My line.
Car down low.
Car gets my inside. Dang it.
Clear. Clear.
Okay, we're clear. So they couldn't make the pass stick. Carried a little bit of speed on the outside, but the inside line is a lot faster, so that's the line that we're going to stick with. Then that squealing noise that you hear is a little annoying, but that is letting us know that we are being a little hard on our tires and overheating our tires. '75 truck up there, that's Kevin Harvick. Really cool scheme. I like that blue and white look. Really pops out in my opinion. So if I can't make the pass on Biffle here. I know a few of the names of drivers in this series for 1999, but not very many. And then also, I mainly know the Cup drivers.
Car high.
I know for a fact Biffle and Harvick
Stay low.
are these two cars right next to me.
Stay low. Clear all the way.
Okay, we can stick there. Dang. As these runs get longer and longer, it's going to get more and more difficult to make passes here.
Got a
So,
car up high. Low.
like I said, I want to survive this first pit cycle, and then once things really get strung out, then after we pit, we'll focus on really trying to make up as many positions as possible and get to the front of the pack, hopefully. Six truck here. Next one that we need to get around.
There's a
Got
spin.
a spin, it sounds like, but no caution yet. Things are starting to get more single file. Six is trying to make the pass on Biffle. Get on their inside. Try to at least.
Car high. Low. Still there. Real high.
Make the pass stick, so that's good. Get around another. I think 97% difficulty is good. It's good enough where I'm making passes, but it's not difficult enough to the point where we're just getting passed by everyone. So if I'm having a good race, then we'll be up front. But if I'm struggling, which there are some tracks that I'm really going to struggle at,
Clear all the way.
California definitely will be one, then
Clear.
yeah, we'll pay the price with this AI difficulty.
Low. Clear.
We get a big run, but I don't want to take it 3 wide, so I'm going to back off.
Low. 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 Still there.
It's a pretty single file now. There's a car that pit, that must have been the car that crashed.
Got cars on both sides. Real high. Clear all the way. Go right. Car.
Yeah, we're starting to get tight, so overdoing it on the tires a little bit. If I get some clear track in front of me, then I'm going to back off a little bit, let things cool down. Probably overheating the tires just
Stay low.
way too much.
Clear. Go right. 84 car. Car high. Stay low. Clear all the way. Car low.
Yeah, we're really tight.
Still there. Clear. Clear.
Car's hard to turn.
You've got a car up high. Clear.
I want to be a little bit conservative this first race. Again, we have 26 races, so
Still there.
we don't need to win. My goal is just top 5, so consistency is key. And for this first race, you may see I'm being really conservative around the AI, so giving them plenty of room, backing off a bit. That's just because they can be kind of unpredictable for braking, so I don't want to just smash into them.
Go right. The car in front of you.
Run here.
That car behind you. 4th position.
But yeah, we're in it for the long game here. I want to finish this first race, so again, race the AI with respect. Check up here a little bit, so we're gonna make 2 passes, it looks like.
Low. Low. Clear all the
inside of this guy here, maybe.
Car high.
Whoa, way too deep.
Keep low.
Almost caused a wreck there.
Clear high. Car high. Still there. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear all the way.
Can't make it stick on the 84.
You're now in the top 10.
We're up to the top 10, that's good.
Car high. Still there.
But yeah, we're
Still there.
taking it easy here.
Still there. Still there. Clear.
Passed by 2 trucks
Car
there.
high.
Kinda sucks, but
Keep low.
not too worried at this point.
Clear.
Keeping pace pretty well in my opinion. But yeah, once the tires start to get warm and wear down, it is very hard to make passes. So any chance we get to
You got a car up high.
take it easy
Clear all the way.
and let the tires cool down, that's going to be great. Like, well, right now probably isn't the best chance we're gonna get, since there's cars all over the place in front of us and behind us, and we're not really gapping the car behind us. I need to stop talking and focus here a little bit.
Car high. Stay low. Still there. Clear all the way.
Try and get on the inside of the 60,
You
but
got
the
a car up
52
high.
is going to
There's a
slow us
spin
up.
in turn 3.
Another spin, it looks like.
Keep low. Keep low. Clear all the way.
Try and get on the inside of the 84
You got a car
here.
up high. Clear. Clear.
Can't make it work.
You got a car up high. Stay low. Clear.
So focused right now. Just
Stay low. There's a spin in turn 2. Clear. Clear.
another crash. A lot of crashes. No cautions yet. I think we're getting to the point where we'd want to pit if there was a caution.
You got a car up high. Keep low. Keep low. Keep low.
60, it looked like he wanted to come down on me.
You got a slow car in here. Still there. Still there. Clear all the way. Car
Whoa,
high.
whoa.
Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Got cars on both sides. Hold your line.
Come on,
Clear
14.
low. Car high. Stay low. Stay low.
Let's get around him here.
Still left. Still left. Still left. Still left. Clear. Clear all the way.
Get
So
the
now
past stick.
that's the way to hustle.
Beautiful.
Steady.
Alright, so we got some clear track in
That
front of
car
us
is behind
now.
you in pole position.
We need to gap the cars behind us, and then
You're
we'll
racing the car behind you.
take some time to cool down my tires. I think that's what I need to do. About halfway through this fuel window here. Probably be one of the first cars to pit. Alright, we've gapped the cars behind us a bit. Now we've made it to this next group. So we'll take it easy here for a few laps. Cool down the tires a little bit. We're getting to the point where lapped traffic is probably going to start to be involved. The AI can be a hit or a miss here. Oh, I really screwed up that corner. But the AI can be a hit or a miss, where sometimes they don't really know what to do when it comes to getting around lapped cars. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind, because things can get really bunched up and then it kind of looks like super speedway racing for a bit. Back on top of these guys here, right to their rear fender. They're racing side by side, so making up some ground because of that, but again, I don't really want to
There's a spin
make
in
the
turn
passes
3.
because I'm trying to save my tires. So stay behind these guys, but stay in front of the car behind me. You can just see them in my rearview mirror. Pixelated looking headlights, so don't have a ton of breathing room, and this is not what I wanted. Drove in a little too deep there. A lot of cars spinning out. Still no caution, so it's just single car spins. But yeah, that's one of the cool things about this, or these old Papyrus sims. Cars or the AI would spin out, and in the newer games, that is unheard of.
Got a flow car down low.
Oh crap, there's a truck right behind me now. So these trucks are actually slowing me up. I have to make a move on these guys.
Car high. Keep low. Keep low. Keep low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Clear.
looked like there was some damage.
Still there. Clear. 111 car. It's a lap down.
Race those trucks maybe a little more aggressively than what I would have liked to, but I can't get too held up. And it looks like up here there's a big bunch of trucks, so this is kind of one of those situations where lapped trucks are starting to come into the equation, so the AI doesn't really know what to do when it comes to getting around them. And all it takes is one truck to get held up, and then things can get really bunched up. But they slowly get around. So who knows, maybe things will clear up a bit more after I catch up. Just under half a tank of fuel now, so the pit window is going to be opening up here before we know it. This is another truck that has damage, so they're lapped down. Just need to get around them.
Car high.
Big run on them on the backstretch.
Low. Clear. Car low.
Made a mistake there. Pulled my wheel a little to the right.
Clear all the way.
We want to turn left. Still make the pass stick, so get around them. That's fine. Just probably overheated my tires way too much there. And a bit of a gap between us and the cars in front, so this is the perfect opportunity to just lay low, cool down the tires, take things easy. We haven't even made it to the first round of pit stops, and we need to pit at least twice, not even halfway through the race here, so tons of time. I'm not worried. Just take things easy here. Keep these cars in front of us in our sights, and that will be the most we'll want to do. Still really hugging this inside line, maybe a little too much, but that's the faster line for me by far, so I do not like running the outside on this track. The AI sometimes does, but not me. So yeah, there will be some fun tracks that we race in the truck series, like I said earlier. Some of the tracks are the same between the three series in this game, but some tracks are different. So yeah, the truck series is more short track focused, so we do have some really fun short tracks to race. Nashville Speedway, really looking forward to that. Bristol is in all three series, but that one will be a fun one. And there's some unique short tracks that are still not raced at all modern day. That we'll go to. Portland is one of the first races. I think it's one of the first three. The second round is going to be Phoenix. That's still raced today, but a different configuration. But yeah, Portland will be one of the first races, and that's a short track. And then some unique tracks like Flemington, that will be interesting. It's kind of like a short square shape track. But yeah, those races will be absolute chaos. Um, Here at Miami, this is a little bit longer track, so once things get spread out like they are now, it's not the most exciting racing, but when things get bunched up, then things can be really nail-biting. I am a little bit nervous about the pit cycle. I don't want to go into my pit box too slow and lose a lot of time, but don't want to drive in too deep and overshoot my pit box. So that's where things can get a little crazy, and also if there will be a full course caution, that's going to be during the pit cycle for sure. And that's where things can get interesting, because if we pit and go a lap down and the AI waits a long time to pit, or the leaders do, then that could lead to a full course caution and could easily put us a lap down. So that's kind of the gamble you take. We're slowly inching away at this group in front of us. So it looks like a group of 4 cars. We've got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel, so yeah, getting to the pit window here very shortly. I don't know if we'll catch these cars before we have to pit.
107 car. He's a lap down.
There's a lapper here, so that's what's holding things up a little bit. I got through that corner really badly. Need to focus on my driving and not these cars in front of me. So yeah, we are starting to wear the tires down a bit, getting a little tight. But yeah, as I was saying in the start of the race, there's some licensing issues with some of the manufacturers, so I think they only solidified one manufacturer for the trucks, and the remainder of the cars they had to make the fantasy drivers, so the drivers in the 100s numbers, and there's quite a few trucks in the 100s. It is cool that they got some of the big name drivers like Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, or back then they weren't necessarily big name drivers, but they are now. I think Harvick is probably one of the only drivers in this game that still races modern day. So we did manage to catch this group, but yeah, let's take things easy here. Cannot see any cars in my rearview mirror, so we're well ahead. We're getting to the pit window, so I'll pit and then we'll be a bit more aggressive. But yeah, so I had this game when I was a kid, and I actually used the disc that I had as a kid to install this on my current computer, but I played this with keyboard and mouse, so I'm slowly learning everything for playing this with a wheel, so don't roast me too much. But yeah, I'm slowly learning how to play this with a wheel in realistic physics. Um, when I played this back in the day, I would go with low AI difficulty and arcade physics, so I would just dominate the AI every race. Here we're actually trying to race them with some respect and have some kind of difficulty with this. So the 107 truck is a lap down, I believe, but we'll be conservative here. Don't know what they're gonna do. Again, when we get on their inside, they see that and they get out of the way. But before then, they could just come down on us as we're trying to make the pass, and that could lead to a wreck, give us damage, and then ruin our race. And we're still really early in this thing, I think. Probably getting to lap 50-ish, if I had to guess, based on how much gas we've used so far. But we'll check as we're pitting. Oh, that car behind us has caught up, so yeah, maybe we could try and make the pass on the 107 car here. These cars are side by side, so it's going to slow us up here. These cars are all over the place. We can pass here. Cool. Now up to the Pennzoil truck, the 16 truck. That's a iconic Napa scheme. But yeah, now it's kind of like super speedway racing. Side by side, going into the turns. Get big runs from the draft here. I had to brake really hard there. Yeah, the AI can be unpredictable on when they brake. I'm gonna back off just a little bit. Oh well, we are really bunched up now. I wanted to get up on the top, but decided not to. That led to a mistake on my part. This is a lapped car here that is holding everyone up. Get a run from the draft here. This has to be the lapped car here. I think that's the 112. Need to focus on the race ahead, not the lapped car. Because this is the situation that I get nervous about, causing a wreck with the AI. Really would not mind pitting right now. That light isn't even blinking at me yet. It's about to, probably. But yeah, getting out of this situation is going to be ideal. In my situation, I mean, this pack racing.
The 35 car. Car high.
I'm backing off just a little bit. Tensing up here. It's stressful. But the series is supposed to be relaxed. This is all just for fun, so even if we do crash out of races or finish poorly, yeah, it's something about these, the simplicity of these classic Papyrus games from the 90s that is just really relaxing for me. So the racing is intense and fun, but this is all for no pressure, just for fun, just to relax a little bit. Probably going to do a race once a week or once every 2 weeks to upload. There's a lot of racing to be had. Probably just under 100 uploads if we do all 3 series, but yeah, we can see now the fuel light is blinking at us, so we're starting to enter the pit cycle, and now this lapped car is right in front of us. Ooh, I just pulled right in front of that car behind us. Didn't mean to do that. That is a lapped car. That is a lapped car also. This was the car that was holding everyone up. He squoze me down all the way on the apron there. I think next lap I'm going to pit, so put all this effort into passing that guy only to go down pit road. Alright, here we go.
You've got a car up high. Clear high. 107 call. You've a lap down.
Try not to overdrive or pit stall too much here.
Watch your speed now. Car down
Catch up on us. Ooh, man.
Keep it on 6,000.
Oh, didn't want that. We're backing up. That was a mistake.
Watch your speed now. Keep it on 6,000.
What a dumb mistake. So we're on lap 67, got 100 laps to go.
Go, 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 go! Watch your speed now. Keep it on 6,000. Watch your speed now.
Try not to speed on pit road here. But yeah, that was
6,000.
what I was nervous about. Making a mistake coming down
Watch
pit
your speed
road.
now. Keep it on 6,000.
Alright. Well, we survived, kinda. We'll see how far behind we are as a result of that. Pull up this window here. 1 lap down, which is good, but if a caution comes out, we are going to be in a horrible spot.
Okay, the leader is spinning now.
We're in 32nd.
Car low. Car down low. Still there. Still there. Clear
Up to
low.
30th here.
That car behind you is full of position.
And things are really spread out now, so it'll be easier to make up some spots. Just made up quite a few. Still getting around cars that are pitting for the first time. We did pit pretty early, but I did that on purpose for the sole reason of having more time to make up for mistakes, because we are faster than the AI when it comes to racing single file like this. When we get into pack, we are a little bit slower, but yeah, I made a mistake getting onto pit road there, slowed down way too much, got into another truck, and that's going to put us behind a little bit. But now that we have some clear track in front of us, we'll be able to make up some time, I think, as long as we get around this guy right here. And it looks like at least the leaders here are really trying to get the most out of their fuel window. They're still a lap down. Take the inside, so we're gonna have to take the outside line. Pass here up to 23rd. We were in the top 10 prior to pitting, but again we made that mistake, so I don't have much confidence that we're gonna be in the top 10 at the end of the pit window here. Got a ton of clear track in front of us. This is exactly what I wanted. So this is the benefit of the long runs and not having a ton of cautions. Is now it's just basically me driving by myself, and we're back on the lead lap now.
You've got a blue car down low.
Up to 19th.
You're now in the top 20.
So we'll see as we come by pit road here. Still in 19th.
Okay, the next 3 cars in front are all for position.
I think the pit window has, or the pit cycle has ended. So we're in 19th. Lost probably on the high end 9 spots. which is unfortunate. So what we can hope for here is a lapped car bunching a bunch of trucks up, and then we can potentially make quite a few passes. We'll just try and now put in some fast laps here. That's not what I wanted. Drove in way too deep. Such a silly mistake I made on pit road, but it's a learning thing, and also we have 25 races to make it up if we don't make up more positions this race. Right here on the 95, into the backstretch. Pass here for 18th. Got a ton of track in front of us. Almost a 12-second gap from us to 17th place. Definitely have our work cut out for us, but like I said, as long as we get a slow car to bunch up the field, then we can really make up some time. So I have a lot of racing ahead of us, and also another pit cycle, and also a caution can bunch things up again, and that could change the whole dynamic of the race. So we're still early here, not even halfway through the race yet. Really hugging the apron there. This car we're coming up is likely a lapped car. Yeah, things are really spread out now. Which I'm not complaining, but probably not the most exciting racing to watch right here.
111 car is a lap down.
I am surprised with how close we came to going a lap down. That's just what you get for making a mistake on pit road during green flag pit stops. You lose a lot of time. A few cars in front of us here. Let's see what. inside of the 111.
You got a car up high.
Got damaged, so my car spun out earlier.
Clear all around. Okay, you're gonna get the car flagged. You're fine. We're halfway home.
Alright, so this is the halfway point in the race. Right here. Guessing these may be lappers. We'll find out. Yeah, this car's got damage, looks like. Bit of damage.
Car high. Still there.
Text message there. Apologize for that. Still really strung out here. Let's take a look. Catching up on 17th place. I'm not like that. Drove in a little too deep, focusing on talking, not focusing on racing. But yeah, it looks like these trucks in front of us are going to be for position. As I said, we're going to need to pit at least, well, we're going to need to pit one more time. Caution came out right now.
The next two cars in front of are
We would maybe make it to the finish. It'd be close. Slowly catching the cars in front of us. It looks like they're just what I ordered. A bunch of them are all bunched up. This looks like Kevin Harvin's truck in front of us. Just
There's a spin in turn two.
man, crash there, but no caution. That would have been awesome if we got a caution. Would have been just what I wanted. Starting to catch these cars in front of us though. could potentially get into the top 15 here. So making up some positions that we lost due to the mistake we made on pit road. Just over half a tank of fuel. Yeah, we're side-by-side racing here. A few lap cars, it looks like that's holding people up, but I am not complaining. Just need to give him some room here. I'm going to carry some speed out of turn 2 to get side-by-side with Kevin Harvick. So I have some momentum though.
Car high. Still there. Still there. Still there. Real high. You've got a car up high.
Oh, we're going to be 3 wide.
There's a spin in turn 1. Still there. Stay low. Clear. Stay low.
Oh, there's a crash right there.
Car high.
No yellow flag though.
Still there. Stay low.
That would have been nice to get a yellow flag. Oh man, 29 comes down a little bit.
Clear. Clear.
Ooh, okay.
You're racing the 31 car. Car high. Stay low. Stay low.
Not gonna be able to clear the 29.
Stay low.
Oh man, that was close.
Stay low. Low.
It checked up there for some reason.
Stay low. Stay low. Stay low. Stay low.
I think the 6th car is for position.
You got a car up high. Stay low. Stay low.
112 is a lapper,
Stay low.
if I remember. Yes, they got back on the lead lap
Real
somehow.
high. That car in front of you is for position.
Yep, 6 is for position here. Pretty cool paint scheme. Like I said, a lot of cool paint schemes from the 90s. Kevin Harvick's scheme is pretty cool. I really like that blue and white look it has.
Low. Clear all the way.
Okay, we clear the 6 there.
Car.
So got around all those cars, which is good. Still over half a tank of fuel. We're almost gonna need just like a splash and go. Man, I'm all sorts of tensed up from the racing that we just did, getting around all those trucks. Wouldn't mind caution just to cool off a bit, but we have a little bit of a gap between the car behind us and the car ahead of us, so we could take things easy here. We are starting to catch some cars, or trucks I should say, same thing. I'm a little deep. Not too tight, but I think we may have overdriven a bit the start of this um, this stint or this cycle, and that may have wore down my tires too much, so we might start struggling here. Half a tank of gas left. So 2 lapped cars are starting to slow things up a bit. One's got damage. So things are really gonna bunch up here. Gotta be careful.
Okay, the next 3 cars in front are all 4 positions.
So actually not 2 lapped cars, just 1. They've got damage. It's gonna bunch us up, but that black, white, and red car is the lapped car. The other 3 are lead lap cars. So
The 78 car.
get inside of the 78 here.
Keep low. Keep low. Keep low.
Got around the lap car.
Keep low. Clear.
Got a position there, that's good. Making up some ground. Just need to survive the second and final pit cycle, and then after that it's going to be catch-up time, make up as much ground as we can. Hopefully we don't have another mistake on pit road.
Car high. Clear all the way.
Need to race a little bit more aggressively here, letting the cars behind me catch up. Alright, full throttle right here. We'll try and get around the 14 car. Have a little bit of a run on the front stretch.
Clear.
Get around him in turn 1. Going into turn 1, drove in a little bit deeper than he did. Cool. Make up another position there. We have to be close to 10th place now. Drive our way back into the top 10. That'd be sweet. The leaders lapped through 20th place, I think, if I remember right after checking from the pit cycle. So yeah, again, today, top 10 finish would be the goal. And then work our way up from there. And then a top 5 in points. So just be consistent, finish races, don't DNF.
Watch that spin in front of you.
Oh, there's a spin right here.
Stay low. Stay low.
Slow down too much. Car's gonna get on my outside. But yeah, they are not very strict with the cautions in this game. Single car spins will not result in a caution. He's gonna come up on the track right as we pass him.
Car down low. Still there. Still there.
Right there.
Clear.
Had to take the outside line on that one, but got around him, so hopefully he holds up the cars behind me a little bit. We're less than half a tank of fuel now, so coming up on the second pit cycle. 60 truck is staying inside, so we're gonna have to take the outside again.
Still there.
Was not expecting him to be right there. I can try a crossover move. Couldn't get on the gas fast enough.
Got a full car down low.
This left car is really holding us up. Gonna get on the inside of the 60 here.
Got cars on both sides. Hold your line. Car high.
Gotta get past the 101
Still
here.
there. Still there. Still there. Keep up. Still away. Car high.
Couldn't get on the gas as fast as I wanted to out of the corner.
Stay low.
Had to try and dive blind
Stay low.
him.
Stay low. Stay low.
Get the pass
Still
there.
away. You won 16 car. It's a lap down.
So this car in front of us is another lapper. Car behind us is not a lapper. So we would like to get a gap, if possible. A bunch of cars bunched up in front of us.
Car high.
116 is gonna squeeze me onto the apron.
Clear.
Yeah, I mean, if you get on their outside before getting to the apron, then they'll give you room, but
Car high.
try squeezing in there as they're coming down on you, then
You're racing the 10 car.
they will
Car low.
spin you out.
Keep high.
Oh man, the 60.
Car low. Clear all the way.
That was
You're
my
racing
mistake.
the car behind you. You got a car up high. Still
Alright,
there.
I just need to focus here.
Clear.
Recoup a little bit.
One
Stop
car.
talking.
It's a lap down.
Rambling too much.
You're now at the top.
Focusing on
That's the way to
talking
hustle.
and not
Yeah.
racing.
Car high. Still there. You got a full car down low. Clear high.
Shit. Apologies for the language there.
Car high. Clear high. You won 18 car. It's a lap down.
So, 51 laps to go. So we're technically in the pit window because even if we pit right now, we would make it to the end. No, we're not going to do that because we want fresher tires, but that's just something to keep in mind.
Clear. You've got a car up high. Still there. Still
60
there.
car is really holding speed with us.
Keep close.
Potentially going to make the pass here.
Keep close. Keep close. Still there. Still there.
We're on the 118 car. This is a lapper.
Keep close.
Was able to hold the gas a little bit on exit, so get on the 118's inside. That is a lapper.
You're now in the top 10.
There are a bunch of lap cars right now, so
The lap down.
trying to listen to my spotter. So yeah, 117 is a lap down, so
You've got a car
just
up high.
gotta get through traffic here. Not for position, but just
Clear.
trying to get around these lap cars, and hopefully they hold up the car behind me, the 60. And the 60, if you look at my rear view mirror, that's the red car. So yeah, AI is super easy to pass on fresh tires, but as we get into the long runs here, they are a lot more difficult to pass, and makes the racing much more interesting. Greg Biffle there. 10 truck, I think that one's for position. Usually any single or double digit number, those trucks are usually for position unless they have damage. The triple digit numbers are usually lapped cars at this stage in the race. Oh, I really just came down on the 60 there. So yeah, now we're back to kind of like pack racing.
Still there. You're all the way.
Trying to get around these lappers here. 60 got back around me. In the next few laps we should see the fuel light start blinking at me also. Might just pit right away so that we have the most time possible if we make another mistake to make ground up. It's kind of my strategy for this first race. Survive, hopefully finish on the lead lap, and make up as much ground as possible for any mistakes we make. Left the inside wide open. Could have definitely went there, but yeah, we'll take it easy here. Wait for the pit cycle to finish, and then after we pit, we'll really start driving hard. Less than 50 laps left, so don't have to conserve the tires too terribly much. Sucked in by the draft there. No cars that I can see in our rear view mirrors, so just focus on the cars in front. And if we have to pull back a little bit, then that is perfectly fine by me. Now the car's starting to catch up to us a little bit. Let's see in our mirror there. Ooh, man, okay, that was cutting it close with the 60 truck. So kind of the rule of thumb is if I see a car having a run on me or a truck having a run on me in my mirror, then I need to start making up some ground, and there's a truck catching up to me. Made it to the top 10 though, so that's awesome. Made up 7 positions since the last pit cycle. Just let this truck around, whatever. It's a lap truck anyways. Probably pit and has fresher tires, if I had to guess. Still a cautionless race. I mean, in real life there would have been multiple cautions for all the spins we had early in the race, but now, no big wrecks. So this really is a race of endurance at this point. Inside here.
You've got a car up high. Clear.
Trucks are everywhere. Here.
Clear low.
A little too deep, but we'll be able to stay on the throttle all the way through the turn here. Or not. Really tight, really tight. Oh, I'm about to get lapped. Holy cow. Okay, well, let's start trying to get past some of these trucks here. Would have been nice to stay on the lead lap, but wow, okay, I'm about to get lapped. We just lapped quite a bit of the field then. Greg Biffle now. Just everywhere. This is kind of stressful. Ooh, hey Greg Biffle. Trying to get around me here. Just hold our line and hope for the best. now we should be getting single file, so it should be easier to make passes on these guys. Okay, light's blinking at me, so I am going to pit right away. Right now. That might give me some time to make up my lap I lose, and also there won't be any trucks pitting at this time, so
Clear. Clear all around.
yep, we're gonna pit right away here.
You've got a car up high. Clear all around. Watch your speed. Watch your speed now. Watch your speed now.
Nope, missed the pit stall, of course. A little bit of a mistake on my part.
Go, 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 go!
Not as much of a mistake as the first lap, so
watch your speed now. Watch your speed now. Keep it on 6,000. 6,000.
okay. So that's it for pitting for this race.
That car's a lap down.
So we are now able to make it to the end.
Car high. Clear.
32 laps to go. So we'll just drive as hard as we can for the next 32 laps and see where we end up. I think a top 10 finish is on the table, but we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully there's not a caution that will put us 2 laps down. That would be very unfortunate. But trucks should start trickling into pit lane here over the next few laps. I pit very early, just to give myself time to make up ground, but the gamble I took is if there is a caution, I am not going to be in a great spot. Okay, a few cars or trucks starting to go down pit lane.
You got a slow car down low.
Yeah, I mean, it is really relaxing just to drive when things are spread out, but when we get all bunched up like we were before I pit, it's just so intense. And I mean, it can be kind of finicky where
You got a slow car in here.
if you hit the truck in front of you, sometimes it can just immediately spin you out. Sometimes it will spin both you and the truck in front of you out. Sometimes it will spin them out. It's kind of a hit or a miss, but yeah, sometimes that truck that you hit is just a brick and does not move, but you definitely move.
Clear. Clear all
Around
around.
Kevin Harvick there.
Okay, the leader is hitting now.
I believe all these trucks in front of me have to pit still, so won't race them too hard here. fresher tires, so
Keep close.
holding a bit of
You're all right.
speed. Oh, almost spun out the 29 there.
You've got a car up high. Keep close. Clear, clear. Car high. Keep close. Keep close. Keep close. Clear all the way. Your rate is 107 car. Car down low. Still there.
I drove in
Still there.
wrong lane, so get past there. It's fine. It's fine. Not a big deal. Still waiting to see what these trucks in front of us do in regards to pitting. Should be reaching the end of the pit cycle here shortly.
Watch that crash right in front. Watch it, watch it. Yellow flag is out.
Oh no!
Car down low. Clear.
That is not what we wanted.
Let's go, let's go. Race back to the line.
Crap. Well, that's the risk we took, I guess.
We're under caution. Caution is out.
Okay, let's see the damage here. Oh, 2 laps down. That is not good. Well, crap. That sucks, but that's racing right there. That's what can happen. Finally got our full course caution though. With
that car behind you is in pole position.
24 laps to go, so I guess there is some time to make up some ground.
The leader is hitting now.
Man, that just sucks. I guess lesson learned for future races, wait as long as we can to pit. Because if we waited, we would be in an excellent spot right now, but yeah, now we are way back. If I drive hard enough, maybe I can make up a lap, but we really don't have a lot of time left. So yeah, once this yellow flag is finished, we'll have about 22 laps. So yeah, I guess it's just going to ultimately be a free-for-all, and then we'll just pass as many trucks as we can.
Past 112 car. Past 112 car.
Pick up a few spots here.
Okay, the leader is hitting now.
Make our way into 22nd. And I'm still a little upset about this. All those crashes, and this is the one where we actually have a yellow flag. I mean, this is just racing and part of the strategy. Still had a ton of fun with this race though. Nice long race. About almost 2 hours full worth of racing here. So yeah, there will be some long uploads for these for this series with the 100% length races, but yeah, a lot of good racing, I think. A lot of fun, really relaxing just to sit down here for 2 hours and enjoy this classic.
We're going green next time by. Stay low.
So the way things worked back in the day is, yeah, lapped cars would line up on the inside line, lead lap cars would be on the outside line. So once we go green, we will have 20 laps to go. We'll just do a shootout for 20 laps, see how many
All right, driver,
positions
that
we
next
can
car, here's
make
the
up.
lead. Get ready now. Going green.
Don't have a lot of time to waste, so we'll be a little aggressive
Next
here.
car is in. Green flag, green flag, green flag.
Oh,
Car high. Keep low. Keep low.
pass on the apron here.
Keep low. Keep low. Still there.
I'll be quiet for these last 20 laps.
Clear.
We've just got to be as aggressive as possible,
Got a car up high.
make up as many positions as we
Still there.
can.
Still there. Still there. Clear.
Pretty
You're on the
fast
left.
here, so
That car in front of you is fourth position. Car high. Still there. Still there. Clear high. Car high. Clear on the left. That car's the back down. You've got a car up high. Still there. Clear on the left.
well,
You're racing the car in front of you. 20
Yeah.
more laps. 20 more to go.
we were pretty fast on that restart. Got around all of the
Car
cars.
high. Still there.
So now we just need to make the loop and see if we can't catch anyone on the tail end of the field.
You're now in the top 20.
20th place. What could have been. Maybe we'll get lucky with another caution. Yep, just racing by ourselves now. We'll see if we can catch up to someone. Just gotta put in some solid laps here. far. They're a ways ahead. Maybe too far ahead. Well, still a really fun race. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again. Had fun going the full 200 miles. But I feel like with a smarter pit strategy at the very end, we would have done much better. But we're still going to finish the race, so that's good. Not starting the season with a DNF. Driving a little deep now, but I'm just trying to go as fast as I can. Being really hard on the tires. I mean, in the last couple of laps, we made up 8 seconds on the position ahead of us, but still don't know if it's going to be enough. If we have enough time to start catching up. I mean, since we do have clear track, we are putting in some fairly decent laps, I think. Laps to go.
We got just 10 more to go. 10 left.
Yeah, putting in some solid laps here. honestly might get to the rear fender of the car in front of us. Now, do we have enough time to make the pass? That's another story, but it's like 3 seconds per lap. So in the next 3 laps, we are potentially going to catch this next car. Then, with 1 lap to go, all bets are off. May have to do a dump. This might be just exactly what we needed. Five laps to go, and there is a bunch of cars just all bunched up here.
Just 5 more to go. Keep it up. One car is the lap down.
This is not what I needed. Drove in way too deep.
Got a car up high. Clear.
Alright, we gotta make quick work of these guys.
One car. The lap down. Car high.
I'm gonna use the apron.
Keep low. Keep low. Keep low.
Oh man. We are being very aggressive. That's kind of what we have to do. It's 21 car.
7 car is the lap down. Car high.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yellow flag is out. Let's go, let's go. Race back to the line.
Alright, that was me being way too aggressive right there. Way too aggressive. Well, we're gonna end this race under caution. That was my fault, but I was trying to make up as much ground as I could.
We got some damage on the right front.
Yep. Oh well, we tried.
112 car is the lap down. White flag. 1 more to go.
I just dove bomb it, and yeah.
Pit road is closed.
I took a few cars out there.
We're under caution. Caution is out. Okay, slow down. Pit road is open.
We'll end this race under yellow here. A few lessons learned. Oh, well, worked our way up to 17th. Maybe I took out a few of the cars I was racing. Thought the 21 was the next car in front, but maybe a few cheap positions I gained there from doing that, but yeah, I was just trying to be as aggressive as possible, make up a few spots. Um, Moving forward, don't want to race the AI like that, but yeah, I wanted to get a decent finish, and 17th is eh. It's not great, but not horrible. So cross the finish line, and our first race.
That's okay. Good job. We'll get them next time.
Our first race for this long season, or this extreme season, is finished. So yeah, looks like we got 17th there for our round 1 of 100% race length here at Miami. Finished 1 lap down due to poor pitch strategy, but yeah, overall pretty fun. Pull off to the side here. Stop. And maybe we had to go to the pits. For everything to count. Maybe I just rushed ending the race. It was a very long race. Gotta get up and stretch, man. Yeah, that was a full-on endurance race right there. Well, 2 cautions, 1 caused by me, 1 that put us a lap down. But for the most part, the first 3/4 of the race, just a long green flag run. Really fun though. We're gonna have a good time with this series. Once we get to some of the short tracks coming up on the schedule here, that will be very intense. Pretty slow coming onto pit lane here. Looks like nobody's in a rush. Alright, I guess we'll pass on. Passing the grass right here. There we go. I guess you just have to get on the second half of the track. Yeah, hard day. You could say that again. Let's take a look at the race results here. So the top 7 looks like all finished on the lead lap. Jack Sprague is the winner. Then I finished 17th of 38. So let's finish the race here. And we have 112 points, so we're behind by 73. So yeah, not the start to the season that we want, but that's what we got right there. So long video, fun video. Hope you all enjoyed. We have 25 races to go left in this season. See ya at Phoenix.